Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio everybody. What is going on? It is Gale here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi video. And today, I am here with Oratoria's manga once again because you guys in the comment section of my video yesterday responded to my question asking you guys if I should read Oratoria's manga and if I should do a review on the channel for it. And you guys overwhelmingly said that I should indeed do that. I should go ahead and read the manga. I should go ahead and actually do a live reading of the manga as well. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. Now, this is a little bit of a feeler, to be quite honest, in the sense of we're gonna see if the gods above, aka the corporations with Square Enix and whoever else is publishing the manga, strikes down upon me and absolutely smites my ass. But I want to do a live reading of the manga. I want to share it with you guys as well. And of course, it's super easily accessible, the manga, so I would hope that they wouldn't mind it. But you know how copyrights are and stuff like that. So let's try and test it out. This is a little bit of a risk I'm taking, but let's see how one video does. And then maybe if we do get smited down by the gods above, we will make sure to do a review of the manga instead of a live reading. So I'll read it before I make a video, and then I'll kind of just take a couple of panels and show it to you guys, talk about those panels and stuff like that. But let's try this out for today. We're going to be going over volume 1, and I've been wanting to do a reread of Oratoria. I don't know if I mentioned it already in the video at the start of the video, but I've been wanting to do a reread of Oratoria anyways. And I've been planning a separate series as well, which I will still go ahead and do in the near future, probably in the next week or so. We'll be doing that series, but I've been wanting to do a separate series as well for my reread of Oratoria's light novel. But I think that this will be a good idea for us to take on as well. While we're doing the reread of the light novel, we can also try and see how the manga compares as well. So that way I can share with you guys my thoughts on how the manga approaches things versus the light novel. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have started with the light novels and then done the manga. That way I can compare it a little bit better. But nonetheless, we'll get a better idea once we start reading the light novel, and I'll have fresh memories of how I feel about the manga and compare the two, basically, right? So be on the lookout for that video. That will be coming up, like I said, in the next week or so. But without further ado, let's take a look at the Oratoria manga and let's see what's in store for us. Now, of course, we saw these panels yesterday in my video, of course, right? So I kind of have an idea of what to expect right here, right? So let's progress on. The beautiful sword princess Ice Wallenstein's story begins. Now, a couple of you guys did confirm to me that the main series manga is currently going through Rakia at this point, which is pretty good in my opinion. I'm glad that they're finally approaching Rakia, and I'm glad that they're getting into potentially what will be, of course, the likes of season 3 and the Xenoses and stuff like that. I do feel kind of bad that the manga for the main series isn't as well made and well published as, of course, Sword Art Oratoria. Because I think, of course, the main series is amazing in its own right? But I do wish that we had the opportunity to have both the main series and the Sword Art Oratoria manga going side by side. Another good thing that would have come from obviously having the manga going really well and maybe approaching season 5, season 6 material is that the animators at JC staff would have had way better source material to use when it comes to creating the anime. That's one thing I feel like is a big problem with JC staff is they work well with when they do have manga material with them, right? When they don't, and this applies to a lot of anime studios as well, is that when they don't have manga material to work with and you're relying on effectively a lot of descriptive words and stuff, right? It's a lot of work that's being put into obviously the storyboarding and everything. When you have something like this, right, when you have the manga going on, it helps a lot. Now, of course, I say that, but the Sword Art Oratoria manga has been going on since, I want to say 2014, 2015. I think it's been going on from a very early period, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we can have a quick look and see Sword Oratoria manga. I want to just check, when did the manga publication begin as well? Let's see. Yeah, the manga series began in June 2024, of course, right? In 2024, June 2014, of course, right? I do believe that they should have probably used the manga material to help them make the first season. I think it would have worked perfectly fine if they did so, but for some reason they didn't. and that's their own blunder, to be quite honest, because I would have used this easily. I would have used this because look at this, man. It does such a better job at portraying eyes and stuff compared to obviously the anime ever did, to be honest. And so that is kind of an unfortunate in that sense, of course, of like that is their own fault for that, and I can't blame anybody else. JC staff should have used the manga material to help them, you know, develop the anime in that sense, right? But yeah, so basically we're going back in time a little bit, of course, right, to when the Loki familia were still doing their expedition on the 49th floor, of course, right? You can see them going at it, of course, right? And you know, of course, Tiona's mumbling and whining a little bit over there, as you can see, and then of course Finn as well, you know, commandeering the familia and stuff as well. The one thing I will say that I like again about the manga, right, is that there's a lot more emotions and a lot more feelings coming from all the Loki familia members compared to their light novel characters, right? Especially at the very beginning of the series. Of course, I think as time has progressed on, right, you know, especially with like you know, volumes, I would say even from volume 8, volume 9 onwards, volume 9 I think was a very sweet spot, whatever you want to call it, a very sweet spot for where Amori actually kind of nailed that emotional side a lot more and was able to do a better job, especially with that whole Eyes and Reveria sort of like dynamic and everything. I think in my opinion, yeah, Amori did extremely well there, of course, in my personal opinion, right? That's what I will say in that situation, of course. All right, I'm very thirsty. Sorry about that, guys. I'm very, very thirsty. But yeah, we can see, of course, Eyes jumping into the vanguard role, of course, right, taking on everybody. And then, of course, we move along and we can see, like, you know, Eyes is just thinking in her mind, not enough, still far from enough, stronger, even stronger, until I surpass the very limits, reaching the infinitely far away peak. So from the very beginning, we can already see how Eyes is already wanting to become stronger, right? That's her objective. This is something that, of course, the anime did, I would say, pretty well in that sense, right? We knew that Eyes was always wondering and questioning as to why, you know, as to why Belle was so strong, right? Why Belle was becoming so strong so quick. And she wanted that for herself, of course. So over time, that feeling has changed. She still has concerns and doubts on how it's happened and everything. But obviously, initially, that was the whole reasoning. Like, how did he become so strong? I need that for myself. I need to know why and how that happened. Wow, that's a really good panel from the illustrator. This is, of course, Lavatain. Yeah, this is Riveria's Lavatain. I will say I didn't even realize this was Riveria, man. That's a very different look for Riveria. I know it's also the wind blowing her hair from her face, and that's probably why it's looking a little bit different, but I didn't even recognize that as Riveria until later. And then we see Eyes over here, of course, right, being told to fall back by Finn, of course, right? And then, of course, Finn just like, well, you're called here, and you can see her just her round face. I feel like they've made her, the one thing I will say that helps the manga, which I feel like the anime should have done better, right, is while Eyes' facial expressions, in the sense of her, maybe her mouth and her you know, her general eyes and stuff don't really portray like her feelings, right? I feel like they could have manipulated her facial structure a little bit to maybe help the feelings that she's got for the situation. Like how here, right, you can see her face is a little bit drooped down, a little bit more rounder, which isn't necessarily an Eyes face necessarily, because Eyes has a round face, but not as round as one may think. I mean, if you take a look at Eyes Wallenstein, an image of Eyes, right? She does have a round face, but you can still see that, you know, when she's angry, it's a little bit more angular, a little bit more annoyed and stuff like that, right? I think that having something like that, of course, right, but then her face becoming a lot more rounder and a lot more, you know, just more spherical, you could say, would give us an idea of like what her feelings are like in that situation and everything, right? And of course, you know, Finn here is saying that, you know, your job is to, you know, protect them, you know, the lower ranks. If you do something wrong, if you go ahead and, you know, absolutely move ahead and, unnecessarily put, the front line at risk, or even the rear guard at risk, that will be a problem, right? It'll affect the lower ranks. And then, of course, Finn asks her, do you feel restricted with your current positions? And then Ai says, yes, I'm sorry. And then, of course, Gareth is like, trying to protect her a little bit as well. And so is Reveria as well, saying like, it's my fault that I should have chanting faster or whatever. And Gareth was saying like, she wanted to reduce the burden of the front line. And then, of course, Finn is just saying like, look, this is the dungeon. We do not know what will happen. Lafia and the others aren't able to fight as strong as you are. So just be careful and be understandable of that point. Understanding of that point. But yeah, then of course they talk a little bit about how Eyes is looking to become strong, and then Rivera is saying she's too absorbed in it, just caring about pursuing strength, of course, right, in that situation, which is of course it is one of the biggest characteristics about Eyes, original Eyes, is that she was just too focused on becoming strong. That's it. That's all she had basically going for her in terms of her motives, was to become the strongest, and that's about it. So I think that's pretty cool in that sense. All right, I'm just gonna quickly read this. So Lafia is obviously apologizing for effectively taking effectively slowing her Eyes down. I can't read, man. I'm blind as a bat, to be honest. I first was reading that as like, I'm always I don't know what I read it as. I read it as something else entirely. I was like, glowing? Wait, what? It's then I read it as slowing. Man, I need to wear my glasses. 1 second. It's too tiny, man. The text is way too tiny. This is when Unc Gale is coming into play, basically. There we go. I can actually read now. Thank God for that. But yeah, I really like this. And again, the manga does such a nice job with the expressions, man. And just generally with how the faces, the chibi models, when they come into play, I think is super nice, in all honesty. Then I'll help you with your luggage. Of course, remember that OG Lafia was a OG Lafia. I say OG Lafia. Season 1 Lafia, early chapters Lafia was a supporter. She wasn't an offensive character like she is now, where she is a lot more of a juggernaut. No, I wouldn't say juggernaut. Juggernaut's the wrong word, but a stronger mage. She's definitely getting stronger and stronger as like volume 11 and 12 has happened and everything, right? She's become way stronger. So obviously completely different situation here, of course, right? In that sense. Of course, we can still see how Tiona is still so friendly and everything, rubbing her face alongside Eyes, of course, right, as well, which is super nice. And then of course Lafia is like, no, there should be a limit even between two females. Not happening. Oh my god, Lafia is already dreaming of what's gonna happen later on. 3 people crowded together. I love how this is in the top right as well. And then Tione is here, of course, as well. Are your Eyes, your conversation with the captain already ended? Yes, but it still hasn't finished. Is it? But if I change my perspective, it might be a chance. If he is this busy, he probably does not have a time to set up a tent. Oh my god. Tione is already thinking of her and the captain. Oh, bro, that's so cool. I love that. I wish, man, I think that's one of the things, right? Is like, the thing is, right, from the main series' perspective, right, if we take a look at the main series, right, the Loki familia seems so unapproachable and so unreachable. And obviously it makes sense because we're looking at it from Bel's perspective, right? They are an unreachable object, right? But then when we come on to their perspective, right, they're just a regular family. It's just a regular familia. Obviously they have their own personalities and their own strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that. They have their own positives, their flaws, pros, cons, whatever you want to call it. They're normal people. And I like that, the manga does a great job in portraying that. I feel like the light novel kind of missed out in some ways to approach with that, to be quite honest. Obviously, as time progresses, it does end up being like that, right? We learn about Finn's foibles, Eyes' own foibles, Lafia's, and so on and so forth. We learn about every single character's issues and problems, bets as well, Tiona Tione, and so on and so forth. It becomes a progressive thing. But I like how the manga is already getting into that whole notion of like, these are just regular people. They're very strong, but they're regular people. So then it kind of sets us up for that expectation of like, okay, you know, we're following this really strong familia, but they're normal as fuck. And then we start discovering their problems and issues and so on and so forth in that sense, right? Which is interesting to say the least. Alright, we males have already decided to switch to the main tent. Oh my god, Raul already dashing Tione's dreams as well, which is rough as fuck. And then of course, Bet's over here as well, just stamping on everybody's position. And then you hair declining wolf, that's crazy, Tiona. You ugly woman, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That is tough. Oh my god, she's absolutely knocked out. It'll be good if I use my own handmade meal to firmly capture the captain's stomach and heart, and Bet's absolutely been knocked the fuck out. That is tough, man. That is so tough. Cooking level 2 special technique ultimate cut. Whether it is meat or vegetables or even the cutting board, all of it will be cut in two. That's not a good thing. I love how Ice is clapping slowly. Bold. That's so nice. Again, that's so sweet. Cooking level 3, good wife and loving mother, has great charm towards men. If it is used, it'll be accompanied by great failure. I had enough, it's getting on my nerves. God angry. Don't force yourself, seems like it is filled with pressure. Alright, Lafia's cooking time. Oh, Lafia's cooking level 4, eh? If it is cooking, I will still be useful. And what is happening over there? Oh my god. Herbs and creep 4 colors. Herb stew loaded with happiness. The meal is designed specifically for the salt that is insufficient in battle and considers the balance of nutrients for all the races, ages, and healthiness. Damn. Tried hard. Wait, tried to listen and still forgot. 1 second. I need to zoom in can I zoom in a little bit? Oh my god, that's funny. Pretended not to hear it. Completely did not understand. That's tough. Oh no. Eyes cooking level question marks. Oh no. Oh no, that's questionable. Oh my god, eyes is just like, that's not considered a dish. If it is only bread, I'll still eat it, at least with soup. Sorry, my request is too luxurious. Eyes is like, this is not bread, it's not dish. That is too funny, man. Look at Eyes' face. But again, this is the thing I'm saying, right? It's just like, it just gives Eyes so much more flavor. And the Sword Art anime, and I'll also extend this to the light novel, it doesn't help in that sense, man. It really doesn't help. So don't go forward by yourself. Let's all become stronger together, my friend. There you go. Your smile just now was very cute. Iceland, please smile once again. Smile once more and let us see. There you go. But that's so nice in that sense, you know, where it's like that again. There's that feeling of like, okay, you know, this is how it should have been, in my opinion. This is what it should have been. Oh, hello there. I forgot about this guy, Cadmus. Oh my god, I forgot that he was shown off in the manga. Obviously, if you guys weren't aware, for Danmachi Battle Chronicles anniversary, I mean, obviously if you play Danmachi Battle Chronicle, you'd already know. But in Dancro, they already showed off Cadmus and actually gave us an example of how he looks like and stuff like that, which is pretty cool to see, of course, right? But yeah, then we obviously see Cadmus is already taken down here by something, obviously here. But yeah, no, that is of course chapter 1. Let me know if you guys want me to do multiple chapters in one video, or do you guys want me to do it in separate videos. I'll be down to do like full volumes in one go. Again, if it's full volumes in one go, we'll probably have to do it as like a review thing, basically, right? Rather than it being like a live reaction thing. I don't mind doing a chapter every single day as like a sort of like video, basically. But let me know what you guys want to see, of course, right? How you guys want to see the format, as this was again a bit of a feeler to put it out there to see how you guys felt about it. But again, this was all very, very amazing and to see, and just generally also to see. I feel like there were some additional scenes as well. Again, I need to read volume 1 of the light novel to get an idea again of like the situation at hand and how it was done, but I'm pretty sure they added a couple of extra scenes and stuff like that, of course, right? Again, stuff like, I don't remember the cooking part at all for some reason. I remember the general, like when they were at the camp, I think, but like this cooking section I don't necessarily remember. But this is so, again, such a nice, again, people will say it's a bit too comedic and stuff like that, but that's good, because again, when these guys are so strong and when these guys are already like so powerful and there's so much dark times to come, you know, having a little bit of comedy along the way and also adding a little bit of emotion to the characters is super helpful as well. I'm big shocked. I just realized it says big shock at the bottom. It's from shock to big shock is great. It's honestly great. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys want me to read this, you know, the full volume together, we'll do that either tomorrow, or I can do like a review. I'll read the manga and I'll give you guys like some of my favorite you know, favorite panels, favorite pages and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments how you guys want me to do these videos in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.